Pretty excited about the guys we brought in. Again, Division II is kind of normal than the FBS programs you see across the country, and the fact that this is more of a starting point for us. This is kind of the first wave of guys we'll land. We'll anticipate signing guys all the way probably up until we start playing in August. We've got a good group of guys, got around 10 guys today. Feel it's a good starting point. And really, we're on a roster that only lost 3 starters from last year's team. So we have 19 of 22 starters returning. So that also kind of goes with not as much scholarship money available as what is normally. The good thing is about that is it means we've got a lot of good players returning. And it also means we're doing a great job of retaining the players we have in-house. A lot of times you see Division II programs, you see a lot of burn-off as far as a lot of people quitting year in, year out. We've got a lot of guys that want to stay in the program, guys that are taking a lot of pride in what we're doing. And that's really attributing to the lower numbers as far as the signing class are concerned, and the lower numbers as far as scholarship money available is concerned.
Well, obviously, I guess just start off with, like you said, in Division II, it's kind of a different way of recruiting in terms of it could go all the way up until August. Just with this first core of 10 guys, just talk about what you like out of these guys and how happy you are to get them here.
Yeah, I'm very happy. We have 2 guys on campus right now, actually, Cade Rogers and Derek Johnson. Those guys are 2 junior college signees. Derek's more of a free safety. Cade's more of a strong safety, outside linebacker type. Those guys are going to make an immediate impact for us this spring. They're guys that are going to compete for starting positions right now. Other guys that just stand out, Daryl Beard, nose guard from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, is going to be a guy that's going to help us next season just for the fact of his physical presence. He's a 320-pound guy. Another guy that's going to help and eventually be a very good player for us is Josh Smith, a center out of Centerville, which is a good place to find centers is Centerville, I would imagine. But Josh Smith from Centerville, he's a guy we're kind of recruiting to replace Russell Mayorga at that center position. Got some local talent, Christian Hediger from Wyoming East High School. They jumped on board. Devin Allen from Princeton, other guys that come here. It's always nice to get local talent. We're going to continue to recruit local talent. Again, this is the first wave, and we're expecting more.
Looks like you got a lot of out-of-state guys. I mean, I saw one from Reno. Just kind of talk about how the, I guess, footprint of recruiting has kind of really branched out in the last few years.
Yeah, that's happened a lot. A lot of things you saw the emergence of a AB onto the scene. You saw the emergence of West Virginia State getting more money. It's making it more competitive to sign some of these local kids because now they're more and more programs want them, more and more people put value in them, and it's harder for us to get the local guys just for the fact that other people can give them more money than we can at this time. And again, that goes back to what I was saying. We didn't lose a whole lot of scholarship money, so it's hard to really compete. If someone's paying you $10 or $1, you're probably going to go to the people that's paying you $10. So that's kind of where we're at with that. We'd like some local guys, but we just missed out here in the last month.
Coach, follow up on that. You talk about the need to develop, particularly linemen, offensive and defensive linemen, and we don't see any here. Are you happy with the crew that you have, or are more of them coming in later?
Well, we'll have more coming later. Josh Smith and Daryl Beard are 2 guys that are, one's an offensive lineman, one's a defensive lineman. We always want to get those numbers just because it's hard to find big people who can play football. It's hard to find big people who are good athletes. So that's always our struggle. I mean, that's Alabama's struggle, and they're signing top class in the nation. But you always want to find big people who can play, and we've done a good job with that. But we also understand you've got to sign some guys who may be high school tight ends or high school defensive ends, and know that their body's going to take them to where they can play offensive line or defensive line in the future. Those are 2 guys we think can help us, but the curve, especially as an offensive lineman, from a lot of people, you can come in and play cornerback tomorrow because it doesn't require a lot of knowledge, but it requires a lot of skill. So if God gave you a lot of skill, you can play that today. At offensive line, you need size, size and strength, physicality that you usually don't have when you're a freshman first coming into college, and you have to have that knowledge of playing a technical position like offensive line. So that's a position we understand that it takes a little longer to develop. You'll see some corners, wideouts, maybe a D tackle that will emerge and help us next year. But very rarely do you see a true freshman come in and help at a quarterback position or an offensive line position.
You talked for a minute about Devin Allen of Princeton, who's Not on this list, but I hear he's committed.
Yeah, Devin's a guy that, again, we talk about guys that want to come into a program and really sit behind some guys and develop. And Devin's a guy that I don't necessarily put him as a running back or DB or linebacker. I put him as just a skill guy. He's a guy that we'll kind of just see where his body takes him. A lot of young guys, they get a lot bigger, or they thin up and maybe get a step faster. And he's a guy that I just want to see. I want to have him come in our program, develop. I know Randy and those guys did a nice job as far as getting that program started the last couple of years. But I want to see him come in, develop, and just see where Mother Nature takes his body, and then we'll plug him in. But as long as he has a good attitude and sticks with it, he'll be successful for us.